The first year of dredging has been completed in the Upper Hudson River near Fort Edward, New York. The project is one of the largest and most complex environmental dredging projects ever performed. To perform the work, GE brought in a team of world-class experts and a multitude of equipment. The first phase, or first year of the project, was a test to evaluate the equipment on the project and whether it met the strict standards EPA established. River sediments are removed by large clamshell buckets attached to excavators that sit on deck barges. Dredge operators use GPS technology to place the buckets in the river and remove only those sediments targeted by EPA for removal. In addition to sediment, these buckets lift gravel, rocks, wood, and small debris, some of which may get caught in the jaws of the buckets. Sediment that drops out of the bucket is removed in subsequent passes of the dredge. PCB levels in the water during all dredging operations are closely and continuously monitored to determine if EPA's standard for how much PCBs can be resuspended into the water during dredging is being met. Once removed, the sediment is placed on hopper barges, whether small or large ones. When full, the barges are pushed by tugboats operated by experienced tug captains through Lock 7 of the Champlain Canal to the wharf of the processing, treatment, and transportation facility built specifically for this project on 110 acres of former farmland. There, an unloader removes the sediments from the barges and loads it into a massive bin called a trommel that separates stone, twigs, and gravel from the sediment. The material is then pumped through a number of screens to remove the sand and grit. The larger material is collected and transported to a temporary staging area where it waits to be loaded into rail cars. The remaining watery sediment is pumped through a series of pipes to a thickener tank and then into one of 12 specially made filter presses housed inside a dewatering facility. Each press stands 18 feet in the air and has more than 150 plates that trap the sediment between them. The watery sediment is pumped into the plates under high pressure. The plates are squeezed together to press the water from the sediment. When the press cycle is complete, the plates open and out drops a dried cake-like material into a container waiting below the presses. The filled container is loaded onto a truck and transported to one of two enclosed staging areas equipped with controls for PCB air emissions. There, it is formed into piles to await loading into rail cars. Water from the dewatering process, and any water that falls on the property as rain, is treated in an on-site water treatment plant. Larger than some municipal water treatment plants, the facility is capable of treating 2 million gallons of water a day. Inside the plant, water passes through clarifiers and filter tanks, which treat the water to meet project standards. Treated water is returned to the Champlain Canal. At the rail yard, front-end loaders move the dewatered sediment and debris into waiting rail cars. 450 rail cars are being used to transport the processed material to a federally permitted landfill in Andrews, Texas. GE has designed the Hudson River Dredging Project to comply with engineering and quality of life performance standards established by EPA to minimize impacts on the community and the environment. These standards include the amount of PCBs resuspended in the water during dredging, the residual level of PCBs left on the river bottom after dredging, the rate at which dredging is conducted, air quality, noise, lighting, odor, and river navigation. A variety of monitors were used around all work areas to assess the project's ability to achieve those standards. Now that the first phase of dredging has ended, an independent technical panel will peer review the process to evaluate the project and make recommendations for the next phase of the project.